Most people who have a fish room with more than a handful of tanks decide to run a central air system, and I'm no exception. I've done a couple of videos about this system in the past, but it's been a while. Just to bring you up to speed, I have half-inch PVC running around the room with nozzles above each tank. These connect to sponge filters via quarter-inch tubing, and it's all powered by one central air pump. This is way better than using a small pump for each tank for a number of reasons. There's less mess, and it's usually more energy efficient. The only bummer is that depending on the pump, it can still be pretty loud. This is my existing pump, a Laguna 45. I got it used on Craigslist, and it's been working perfectly for the last couple of years. But it's pretty loud. It's mounted around the corner from my fish room here in the crawl space. I just threw together some scrap MDF as a shelf and put some foam on it to absorb some of the vibration. But just how loud is it? Well, I used a sound meter to measure it, and it's around 82 decibels. Almost in the red, so I can definitely still hear it in my fish room. But for the last few months I've been considering an upgrade to a quieter, more reliable linear piston pump. So when I saw a gently used one for sale at a great price, I jumped on it. Let's take a look at the two pumps side by side and talk about their differences. The output rating of both pumps is almost exactly the same, but the Laguna pump is a diaphragm pump, so it has a rubber diaphragm inside that shakes to produce air. Unfortunately, those diaphragms wear out over the course of a few years. This is what this pump sounds like not connected to anything. A loud, low hum with a lot of vibration. The Medo pump, on the other hand, has a floating piston that's driven by an electromagnet. It requires far less maintenance and hardly vibrates at all. This is what the piston pump sounds like not connected to anything. It makes noise, but a lot of that noise is the sound of the air coming out. But how much quieter will the new pump be once it's hooked up to the air system? And will the output really be the same? The power usage is also supposed to be comparable, so I'm curious to see if that will be true as well. Let's hook it up and check it out. This is the tank that's the farthest distance from the air pump and the deepest depth. This is how it looked with the Laguna pump. If the output from the new pump is lower, this is where I'll see it. And this is how it looks with the Medo pump. Pretty much the exact same, so that's great. How is the noise level? Let's break out the noise meter again. Looks like it's at around 72 decibels. So that's at least 10 decibels lower. Just for perspective, here's the reading without any pump running at all. So how about the power usage? The Laguna was using 33.5 watts. The Medo is using 31.2 watts. So that's actually a bit less power from a much quieter pump. So overall, I would say that for the price I paid for the pump, I'm happy with the upgrade. I could have gone with a larger linear piston pump, but it would have been way more expensive and it would have used a lot more power. And I'm pretty much maxed out with the number of outlets I need anyway. I'll link to both pumps shown in this video down in the description so you can check them out. If you have any questions about air pumps, feel free to leave them down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, have a good one.